at 10:15. So I give you a few extra minutes to catch up and hear about what's going on in the Vegas Valley. Today I have a special guest. Hi. I think we just started. Okay, we have some interesting hiccups today. My name is Penny Tyndall, and I am a publisher here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I do Desert Foothills Living, which is a Summerlin publication powered by Best Version Media. And my show is called The Professionals. And what happens with The Professionals is that I interview small businesses, nonprofits, and entrepreneurs and listen to their story and how they are thriving in the Las Vegas Valley. So I have an opportunity to invite my guest, David Kelly. David Kelly, welcome.
Thank you, Penny. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yes, so we had a couple of hiccups. That was the first, but it's okay. It makes life a little bit more interesting. So, David, I know that you are a super successful publisher with Best Version Media. But before that, before you started with us, tell us what you were doing before you put your hat into the publishing ring.
So I've always been in marketing, mostly corporate marketing, event planning. So before I started, I was actually owned my own notary company. I was doing real estate investments at the time. So I actually got trapped here in Las Vegas during the COVID time. I got here and then the next day Las Vegas closed and I never left since. I've been here since then. I started off just buying property and then, like I said, started the notary business. And then I got a phone call from one of my friends and he was telling me about this opportunity with BVM. And, I learned a little bit more about it and got a feel of where the magazine would be, which was 30, 40 minutes away from where I live. So it was something that I didn't necessarily want to jump into. But after kind of learning more what BVM does and the opportunities that you bring in with helping communities and being a fixture in those communities and having a voice in those communities and allowing those other people in the community to have voices through the magazine, I thought it was just a perfect opportunity. So I jumped on it and I've been with BVM since April of this year and have been successful.
Yes, you truly have been successful. I have a little bit different story. I started and there was really no active publisher. So I started a magazine from nothing. And so it took me almost a year to date to get it enough sponsors and to get the baseline and everything like that. And we opened in May of 2023. So about 18 plus months. And I feel the same way for you as you did. When COVID happened, a lot of people pivoted, right? You pivoted to stay put in Las Vegas, but a lot of people pivoted. And I think that our forum is great for new businesses, right? Because they have that opportunity to put a footprint in a local neighborhood, through our print publication and of course our branding through digital components that we have. So tell us about your actual neighborhood that you are featuring right now.
Yeah, so my magazine is called Inspirata Living Magazine. So I feature the community of Inspirata, which is West Henderson. And it is a very, very quaint, beautiful, affluent neighborhood full of families and parks and just a beautiful place. It was really the reason why I took the job. After I went to go visit Inspirata, because, obviously, like I said, it's pretty far from where I live. But when I went to go visit and start meeting the people and seeing the businesses and seeing how how much it was it reminded me of the South, actually. How people knew each other and knew each other's pets, and the bartistas knowing knowing what type of drinks that you wanted. So it was something that brought me back to the South. So I really enjoyed it. And that was what sold me, the community. I love the community. Matter of fact, we'll be moving there early next year.
That is super exciting. And, I've been here for a long time. I'm originally from New Mexico. And I always talk to people, I always let them know that even though Las Vegas has grown immensely since I've been here in the late 80s, um, it has a small town mentality. I mean, there are neighborhoods that people converse in their neighborhoods. Somebody on the west side might say, "Oh, it's across the strip." I'm staying in my 6 mile radius, or on my neighborhood. So why don't you talk about how we do digital marketing for our neighbors that can benefit local business owners here in the Henderson area?
So, I always I like the way that BVM approaches the way of their branding. Print advertising is difficult to do by itself, but when you're combining it with that digital campaign, and you're so ultra focused in that one area, that one neighborhood. If it's a neighborhood that your clients are interested in, like Inspirata, that holds 7,500 homes, it is a very good way of being able to reach into all of those homes. And like I said, with the combination of the digital portion of it, not only are they served advertising that they're seeing in the magazine, but they're also being served every time that they're in that zip code. So that geo-targeting and the geo-fencing that BVM brings with the print ad makes tremendous sense. Would I suggest doing print by itself? Not really, not at this time, unless you're just looking to brand. But if you're looking to brand and to be able to have your phone ring, the combination of the two works really, really great. And, for us, we also do networking events and other events as well. So we bring in everybody together. And I think when you're combining those, as well as working with the community, and working with other publishers like yourself, and just working together, I am a firm believer that is the recipe for success, and it has shown to be that thus far.
I always talk to people when I do my networking events, or, part of network clubs and stuff. And I always talk about how BVM celebrates local neighbors, because on the cover is a local neighborhood.
Right.
And why we have such a great reader, was it readership or
Readership.
whatever?
Mm-hmm,
Yes,
mm-hmm.
it's been proven that 89% of the people that get the publication read it, because they want to know, who is that on the cover? That's my neighbor. What are they doing, and how did they do it? And I love it when they say, "How much does that cost?" And I'm like, just time,
Nothing.
time, and answer a questionnaire. So, you were talking about geo tracking, geo fencing, and a lot of small businesses really don't know what that is. So they pour out a lot of money on Facebook ads, Google ads. Maybe they pay a young person, like, my college student, to try to help them. Talk about how we are more of a plug and play for a lot of busy professionals.
Yeah, so our digital campaign is a focused campaign, and it is geo targeted. So for me, I'm in the 89044 zip code. So anything in that 89044 zip code, anybody coming in with a tablet, a laptop, you know, uh,
Cell phone.
phone, anything, whatever you're having, you'll be served that. Anything in that area, and a little bit even outside of that area as well. Um, I don't say that what we do is better. I think that it just enhances whatever someone else is already doing. So if they're doing, if I have a client that is already advertising, I don't step back and say, well, since you're already doing digital, then that's good enough. I always say that if that's working for you, then let's enhance it. If something's working for you, then you want to continue to throw money at that. If something's not working for you, that's where you want to pull the money back. So if if they're already doing digital, I normally say that, like I said, this is going to be an enhancement to your digital. And then the other thing that we offer, that online registration, which helps manually or organically grow your campaign, grow your name on the internet footprint, is just something that does not come from doing posts on Facebook and Google, and then just having the time to be able to do all of that is a lot of time. And if your business is a cleaning company, well, you don't have time to do all of that. You don't have time to market all of those things. So you want to be able to have something that's going to be plug and play. So our digital campaign is, you have a dashboard. Your dashboard, you see everything that you have. If you want to make one change, you make that one change there, and it changes everywhere. You want to change the time of your operations because it's Thanksgiving. You don't have to go to 40 different locations. You can just do it one place and it changes everything. You want to add a picture, you can do that there as well. So being able to track it is, I think the negative when it comes to print is you can't, there's no physical tracking unless you have a QR code or something like that. Being able to have this digital campaigning, it does allow you to track. You're able to see exactly who's coming in, who's going to your website, who's making phone calls to you. And, so it's an easier sell because even when you're doing postings on Facebook or Google, you're only going to post to those people that you're connected to. Well, those might not be your only clients. Your clients, you may not know them. So being able to do digital campaigning with us is a little bit different because we are targeting that zip code and a specific age segment. We're looking for specific things. They're normally going to be 21 and over. And they're normally going to have some sort of, household income that's going to benefit the client. So I think when you're doing it that way, like I said, even if they're doing something already, even if they have a digital team, this always will enhance that, and it's so much less expensive than what you would normally get for a digital campaign. And like I said, it is very, very hands off. You can be as invested or involved as you want, or you can do absolutely nothing and just allow to see, allow the digital to, the dashboard to do its thing.
Right. So that's correct. Our digital marketing, if they're not doing anything great, it's a way to start. We've continued to grow our digital footprint, and what you were talking about is our new listings. And the listings is incredible because I don't know about you, but I forget my password 15 minutes later. I'm like, what was my password? I have to keep reinventing it. And so with that listing platform, you can change your address, you can throw videos in there, you can do images, and it goes to 70 plus websites. The second thing is with a lot of franchises, I've sold to many franchises and they have to pay, from $250 a month to maybe, $500-700 a month, but it is a national campaign. So it is not targeted to the Las Vegas. So right. I know I had one local franchise and they were saying, we advertise on Facebook, Penny, through the franchise, so we really don't know it. And I said, well, let's try it because what they're charging you is $350. I'm only going to be charging you $100 at the time. So it was interesting because he had that franchise for 2 years and he was trying to grow his Facebook page. And he had, I think, 185 people. Within 90 days, he had over 1,000 people on his Facebook. And he was getting his digital impressions. He was getting an average of, started around 3,800, and then he went up to 22,000 impressions. And his franchise allotted him that, you know what, you're doing better with that. And so they didn't make him, I'm not going to say this works every time, but it was a small franchise. They said, you don't have to pay us the $350. So then with my print and my digital, he only had to pay a couple more bucks. And he also had the print magazine. So For him, it was super excited, young techie guy with a health business. But the whole point is on the digital component, people need to think that you are big. They want to see you have value. They feel confident in the brand. My daughter was in high school, Palo Verde area where my Summerlin magazine was. And she kept saying, Mom, I had this business keep popping on my phone because we kept saying we want to go grab a drink, but not coffee. And so she came home and she's like, you should go sell this person an ad because they're all over my phone. Guess what? They're already in my publication. And so she's like, wow, it really does work, and so I thought that was really, that made me a win-win for our digital component, right?
Yeah.
It's a win-win. So let's talk about affordability, because a lot of times people are throwing their money to TV commercials. We were just talking about billboards, bus stops, buses. I mean, taxi cabs. So let's
Yeah.
talk about how we are affordable for big businesses and, of course, for the mom and pop out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, because of my background in marketing and working with such large businesses and having to handle a lot of ad buys and, working with radio stations and TVs, obviously our rates are tremendously lower than those. Anything having to do with television or billboards, they're relatively expensive. And to be completely honest with you, is what I would tell my clients even then. For someone to even remember they saw your commercial, they have to see it anywhere from 15 to 21 times, just because we're so inundated with ads and advertising now. So even the time that it takes for someone to even remember that they saw your ad, they've or saw your commercial, you could have been in the magazine 2 or 3 times. The other thing with our print ads, obviously, is they don't go away. So a commercial goes off at 30 seconds. Well, as long as you keep that magazine, that advertising is still there. I do agree that there should be a faceted direction when you're doing advertising, but they need to be the right connections. Nothing wrong with TV. There's nothing wrong with radio. There's nothing wrong with any of these other ones. They are more expensive, and you do have to, you're still going to have to do it over and over again, because that's just what, our society is now. Our community, our community is. We just don't remember because we're so inundated with so many ads. So, with our costs and our, to be able to target, a specific community that normally costs more, to be so targeted into one area. And those commercials that you're getting from, Fox or any of those other, channels, that's going to go throughout their whole network. So you're hoping that the people that are in your area is seeing that commercial at that time, and they've seen it enough times that they can remember that they saw the commercial. It's just it's a lot of money that you're throwing out without knowing, how it's working. If you don't understand, or if you don't see how print, can show you success, there's no way that you can show that television or radio will show any success either. It comes with the combination of that digital campaign. So with us, even with the print and digital, it's still normally going to be less expensive than your television, and your radio. I mean, I used to sell radio for iHeart, and I know what I was charging people for iHeart Radio. Right. 10 years ago, and still those numbers are more expensive than what I charge for my magazine. And it's a targeted audience. It's not, everybody that's getting your magazine is a homeowner. They have the ability to be able to afford whatever client that you're promoting. They have the ability to afford them. If it's a window place, they can afford it because they're homeowners and they're going to be they're in an affluent area. All of our magazines are in affluent areas. So, whatever you're pushing or promoting to the community, not only are you're doing it in such a tight segregated area, but you're bombarding them with that advertising, so that doesn't take them six months to be able to remember who you are, because you're being hit with it, but the print and the digital over and over again. So anytime that you're in that area, it's going to be something that always pops up.
Right.
Just much like with your daughter, with your daughter.
Yeah. And the great thing is, I always tell people, they always say, I don't have the budget. And then they meet with us and they see that we're more than just a print magazine. They understand it. And we offer so many things, business profiles, to kind of give them a welcome to the neighborhood. Our stories are family friendly. We don't talk politics at all. Who doesn't want to have good news every month and then find out that their neighbor was spotlighted? I have had so many kids email me and say, hey, can I have some extra magazines because I want to do an autograph session? And so I'm like, okay, let me send you the PDF because I'm not going to give you 20 magazines, but
right.
I can create a PDF. And the guy, the dentist's son sent me and said, I signed 12 autographs today, Penny. Thank you. I am a superstar with my lacrosse team. And I just thought, that means the kids are reading it. I've had another person say, hey, Penny, thank you for the birthday gift. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I used your exotic pet article that my content coordinator, Brandolyn, wrote. And I used that as my homework to get a dragon lizard, something like that.
Oh,
And he
okay.
sent me a picture of it. And he's like, it's all because you did your homework, right? Which was my content coordinator. I have to give her credit.
Right.
And she had some great pictures. But the whole point is, me and you are community outreach partners. We are out in our communities every day, meeting new businesses, meeting people, doing business mixers. We're not just there to do sales. We're trying to build community, and that's why I say we celebrate. We collaborate with local businesses when we do our mixers. We celebrate winnings when people open up businesses, and we're trying to build our community. So we are still growing our community. I know that you're adding a bunch of family, neighborhood people to your publication. So from over 3,000, you're going to have whatever 6,000-7,000 people. So we're looking to organically grow. So we're all in it together. We are their partner, as they say. Um, so I love that. We were talking about, you had mentioned a couple things, but the main thing is we also are growing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was like the lone wolf, and then you came along, and then we added Mary in North Las Vegas
Mhm.
living, and then we added Eve in Lake Las Vegas living, right?
Yep.
And so now we are growing our publication, our reach, which
Yes.
gives more opportunities for our business. So let's talk about that. Like, I know you are part of the growth team here in Las Vegas and Henderson. So tell me, we do still have a few minutes. What do you think that you see? What is the inspiration for us here in our Vegas Valley, which includes Henderson, Las Vegas, and actually Mesquite, Nevada?
Yeah. I think, I'm a firm believer that, to be successful, the people around you should be successful. It's hard to be successful and everybody else around you is not. So it just behooves us. It behooves us for not only us as publishers, but the businesses that we represent. to partner up and work with each other to build the area of Las Vegas and Henderson, Summerlin and North Las Vegas and Lake Las Vegas. Being able to have all of this, it empowers us. Number one, as publishers, we work very well together. So we're a community within a community. And it has allowed us to be stronger because we have more to offer when we're partnered with our other publishers. Yes, everyone has their own, publication, and we all own our own publications. But, through BVM, we're able to, still, work with each other and build, these communities. And I think, we've seen in the last 6 months, just like you said, you were here by yourself. So with us just being here in the last 6 months, we've been able to help build it to 4 magazines, and we have 2 other publishers that are working on magazines working on magazines right now. So we're continually trying to build, continually trying to connect with each other because it just makes financial business sense, not only for us, like I said, but for our partners as well. Being able to have those relationships with other businesses and being able to transmit that information over to other businesses, it's a good thing. So networking, something that you do very well, just networking and being able to bring everyone together. It allows us to be successful.
Yes, exactly. We're all about building community, celebrating what's going on. We stay center focused to the neighborhoods. They have the opportunity to be in multiple publications. Best Version Media has been around for over 17 years. I think this is our 18th year. And every year they have grown. We are in the United States and we are in Canada. And so, you know what? Maybe you have a location in Reno or you have it in St. George. We can help. So I would tell everybody out there to reach out to David Kelly. He is our Henderson publisher for Inspirata. But reach out to any of us. We can all help you out. David, why don't you do a shout out? And talk about what's your phone number, how they can contact you. And I think we're both working on our February publication right now. So they should have the monies for the 2025. So go ahead, give us your information on how people can reach out to you the best way. And we can go from there.
I'll tell you the best way, just because I run around so much. The best way is actually email. My email address is David Kelly, and that's spelled Kelly at bestversionmedia.com. That's probably the best way. You can also call me directly. Maybe texting is probably best, just because, like I said, I'm normally kind of running around. But my phone number is 702-515-9134. Once again, 702-515-9134. And just like Penny said, even if you call me, you're getting everybody. So if you're calling me and you're asking for Summerlin, chances are I'm going to just forward you over to Penny. But if you're trying to be in 4 or 5 different magazines, we come together and collaborate. So you don't have to work with more than one person unless you want to. But, you can work with just one person, even though we have a multitude of magazines. So if you're interested in building your business, if you're interested in building community, then I'd say come and visit one of our magazines and be a part of us.
Perfect. So we are super excited. Best Version Media, like I said, we have plenty of different publications to fit your business profile. Meet with us. Take 15 minutes, have coffee. Let us learn about your business. We are there. If it's not a good fit, guess what? We can be great business referral partners for you because we're seeing people daily. So thank you so much, David. I'm super, super excited to have you as part of my team. Very positive. As a salesperson, it kind of gets lonely out there. So it's nice that we have a team and we're out there to help serve the Las Vegas, Henderson communities. Thank you. Have a great day, David. I appreciate your time.
You do the same. Thank you, Penny.
Bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. Penny Tyndall.